This is an excerpt from The Law of Life, Book 1, by Eddie K. Look. It is a description of the chart of the magic I Am presence. The physical form, you, your outer self, is at the bottom. Above or over that is the individualized presence of God, the magic I Am presence, your source. It is in a body of light substance. If you were to see it, it would appear in a form similar to the physical body, but vibrating at a much higher rate. Therefore, it is not visible to the physical sight. It is a living being, intelligent, real, in blazing light. It is a focus of all the God powers that your outer self may draw upon. It supplies the outer self with life, intelligence, power, and action. Man enjoys all its powers but does not understand it. You can speak to it as you speak to a friend. Jesus called it the Father. Rays of intense white light pour out from the presence, some large and many smaller ones. Around the presence are spheres of light substance in colors of the 7 rays and the various tints of each day. In the center is the white light, the natural radiance of the presence. Outside of that is a sphere of electric blue. On a flat surface they are portrayed as circles or bands of colors, but in reality they are spheres. Outside and around the blue is one of yellow, then around it is a beautiful pink, around that crystal white. Next is an apple green, then the ruby, or this may be gold or a mixture, and the outer sphere is violet or purple. These are in order of the 7 rays, and they interblend. That is known as the causal body, which contains all the accumulated good, the constructively qualified essence of that life stream through the ages, created both while in embodiment and between embodiments. These spheres vary with each individual in size and quality. White rays from the I Am presence pour out through these spheres of color, utilizing the qualities therein. They are the action of divine mind and love by which the presence carries on its creation at cosmic levels. From the heart of the presence is a ray of light extending down, entering the human body through the top of the head, where the soft spot is in a newborn child. And it is anchored in the heart. This is the stream of life that beats the heart and keeps the person alive. When it withdraws, so-called death ensues. In like manner, the presence is connected by a ray of light with the central sun through the sun of the systems. The ray of light from the presence, the silver cord, enters the top of the head, goes to the heart and to the base of the brain, the medulla oblongata, and from there is distributed by tiny threads of light to every cell of the body. This is how your body has life. This is an unconscious action on the part of the outer self, but consciously carried on by the Christ self, or the higher mental body, and the body elemental. There are being distributed enough light for the body to function properly in the physical, to render the service in the outer that the Christ self wants to do in that embodiment and fulfill the divine plan. In mankind today, much of the energy is drawn down by the outer self and used discordantly in the various human expressions. But it should be poured back in love to the magic I Am presence, thus completing the circuit. That is the right action. Around the human form is a pillar of light. It is established or placed there by the I Am presence, at the call of the outer or personal self. This pillar of protection insulates the lower bodies from the vibratory action in which one must move. Within the pillar of light can be established the transmuting violet flame of divine love, mercy, and compassion. This is also done at the call of the personal self, and can be activated at any time to any degree, depending on the capacity of the individual. This is how one can redeem karma, the destructively qualified energy of all lives, all misuse of energy of the life stream, as well as that accepted from without. This accumulation is condensed around the physical form. In between embodiments, this accumulation stays in the atmosphere of Earth, while the individual sojourns in the realms of light. At re-embodiment, most of it is held in abeyance until around the 14th year, when it is returned to the individual, its creator. The pillar of light and violet flame interpenetrate each other. Above the physical body is the Christ self, or the higher mental body, also called the higher self. It is also known as the guardian angel. It abides between the presence and the outer or human form, usually not illustrated. It has been provided by the presence to act for and take care of the requirements of the outer self. It is the only begotten Son of God. The Christ self is the action of the presence that knows its perfection and also knows the imperfection and requirements of the outer self. It is endowed with a discriminating intelligence to act in the outer. It might be termed a step-down transformer, with a capacity to act in the lower realms. The Christ self does not accept any imperfection of the outer, but remains wholly pure and perfect. It is an intelligent being in a body of light. It has form, but of a lower vibratory rate than that of the presence. It is the vehicle through which the presence acts in the physical form. Therefore, when you call to your presence, in reality the Christ self performs a service. The bodies of the presence and the Christ self are just as tangible in their own realms of vibratory action as the physical body is here to the physical senses. The diagram represents your own individualized presence of God, I am, in its relationship to you. A picture is an outpost of what is represented. A picture is the greatest focus of any divine being or any interactivity in the outer world. The diagram or chart is the only explanation of the truth of this law. It is an eye picture of the release of the power of the universe, which knows no opposite. The knowledge and understanding of the presence and its action is your freedom. The diagram or chart shows the trinity of your faculties, acting at one point. It is a trinity of action. It is the action of the threefold flame. In every activity in the universe, there is a trinity of action: love, wisdom, and power, which in the knowledge of the presence becomes one. The chart is only an outer picture of it. One needs then to make effort for the realization of it. That is what these teachings are trying to do, to realize God, contemplate the presence, the chart at night. Keep feeling. Feeling is your powerhouse. One can hold a steady gaze upon the upper figure until a funnel of light forms between you and it, especially on a colored chart. Most important is your knowledge, understanding, and acceptance of your individualized I am presence in relationship to yourself as represented on the chart. Even an individual who is doubtful, if he were to look at the chart sincerely, wanting to know, for 5 minutes each day, he would get his proof.